the evolution of Godzilla, from monster to icon. Hey there, monster fans! Welcome back to the channel where we dive into the wildest and most epic tales from the world of cinema. Today, we're tackling a beast of a topic, literally. We're exploring the incredible evolution of the one and only Godzilla. Ever wondered how a gigantic city-stomping lizard became a beloved global icon? How did he go from a symbol of destruction to a cultural phenomenon? Stick around, because we're about to embark on a thrilling journey through time, movies, and massive monster battles. So grab your favorite snack, get comfy, and let's get this monster party started. All right, let's set the scene. Imagine a creature so immense, so powerful, that just the sound of his footsteps sends buildings trembling. A roar that can make even the bravest among us feel a chill. That's right, we're talking about Godzilla. Whether you've been a fan since the black and white classics, or you jumped on board with the latest Hollywood blockbusters, there's no denying the massive impact Godzilla has had on pop culture. But how did this titan rise from the depths of the ocean to become the king of monsters? And why does his story still resonate with us today? In today's video, we're diving deep into Godzilla's origins, his cinematic journey, the symbolism behind the scales, and what the future might hold for our favorite kaiju. The birth of a legend. Let's hop into our time machine and set the dial to 1954. Post-war Japan was a nation grappling with the aftermath of unimaginable destruction. The bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki weren't just historical events. They were haunting memories etched into the collective consciousness. In this environment, Toho Studios and visionary director Ishiro Honda sought to create a film that embodied the fears and anxieties of the time. The result was Godzilla, a groundbreaking film that was more than just a monster movie. It was a poignant metaphor for nuclear devastation. Fun fact, Godzilla's design was inspired by the blending of a gorilla and a whale, which is actually reflected in his Japanese name, Gorira, and Kujira, whale. Behind the scenes, the crew used innovative techniques for the time. Instead of the stop-motion animation popularized by films like King Kong, they opted for suitmation. Haruo Nakajima, the actor inside the heavy rubber suit, endured high temperatures and limited visibility to bring Godzilla to life. The original film struck a chord with audiences, both in Japan and eventually worldwide, laying the foundation for what would become a legendary franchise, Godzilla's early cinematic journey. As we move into the Showa era, spanning from 1954 to 1975, Godzilla began to evolve, both on screen and in the hearts of fans. Initially depicted as a terrifying force of nature, Godzilla gradually transformed into a more heroic figure, sometimes even Earth's defender against other monstrous threats. This shift mirrored Japan's own recovery and evolving identity during the post-war period. Classic films from this era include Godzilla Raids Again, where he faces off against Anguirus, and King Kong vs. Godzilla, a colossal clash that brought together two titans of cinema. Mothra vs. Godzilla introduced us to the giant moth deity Mothra, one of Godzilla's most beloved allies and sometimes adversaries. This era also gave birth to some of Godzilla's most iconic foes, like King Ghidorah, the three-headed space dragon who became one of his arch-nemesis. The introduction of these characters expanded the Godzilla universe, turning it into a rich tapestry of interconnected stories and epic battles. The films weren't just mindless monster mashes. They often reflected the societal concerns of the time, such as the dangers of unchecked scientific advancement and the impact of environmental destruction, reviving the king of monsters. Jumping ahead to the 1980s and the Heisei era, Godzilla made a dramatic return to his darker roots. The return of Godzilla in 1984 ignored many of the previous sequels, serving as a direct sequel to the 1954 original. This move reset the tone, bringing back the ominous and destructive nature of Godzilla. With advances in filmmaking technology, the special effects got a significant upgrade. The suits were more detailed, the miniatures more intricate, and the overall production value higher, making the destruction feel more real than ever before. This era explored complex themes like biotechnology, where humanity's meddling with nature led to unintended consequences. In Godzilla vs. Biollante, for example, scientists create a hybrid monster by combining Godzilla's cells with that of a rose and a human. It's as wild as it sounds. Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah brought time travel into the mix, adding layers of sci-fi to the franchise. These films delve deeper into storytelling, character development, and moral dilemmas, providing audiences with more than just monster fights. The Millennium series and beyond. The late 90s ushered in the Millennium era, a period of experimentation and reimagining. Each film acted as a standalone story, offering new interpretations of Godzilla's origins and purposes. This approach allowed filmmakers to explore different themes and scenarios without being tied down by previous continuity. Godzilla 2000 Millennium kicked things off, reintroducing Godzilla with updated effects and a fresh storyline. The film tackled issues like corporate greed and the dangers of ignoring environmental warnings. Godzilla Final Wars in 2004 was like the ultimate send-off for the series at the time. It featured an ensemble of kaiju, including some lesser-known monsters, in a globe-trotting battle royale. Imagine the Avengers, but with giant monsters. Epic, right? During this era, filmmakers blended traditional suitmation with CGI to create more dynamic action sequences. This combination honored the franchise's roots while embracing modern technology to enhance the visual spectacle. The Millennium series also aimed to reach international audiences, incorporating more universal themes and even including actors from different countries. This strategy helped widen Godzilla's appeal and solidify his status as a global icon. Godzilla in the West. Godzilla didn't just conquer Japan. He set his sights on the world, particularly the West. In 1998, Hollywood attempted to bring Godzilla to American audiences with a big-budget adaptation directed by Roland Emmerich. While the film was a commercial success, it faced criticism for straying too far from the source material. The redesigned Godzilla looked more like a giant iguana, and the plot lacked the depth and metaphorical weight of the originals. But hey, every franchise has its ups and downs. It paved the way for future collaborations and showed that there was a substantial audience for Godzilla in the West. Fast forward to 2014, Legendary Pictures launched the MonsterVerse with Godzilla, directed by Gareth Edwards. This film marked a return to form, portraying Godzilla as a powerful and ancient force of nature. The movie struck a balance between human drama and monster action, earning praise from fans and critics alike. The MonsterVerse expanded with Kong Skull Island, Godzilla, King of the Monsters, and the much-anticipated Godzilla vs. Kong. These films created a shared universe where iconic monsters could interact, much to the delight of fans everywhere. By blending Western storytelling with respect for the original Japanese material, the MonsterVerse films managed to capture the essence of Godzilla while making him accessible to new audiences. The symbolism of Godzilla. In his earliest incarnation, Godzilla was a direct response to the fears surrounding nuclear weapons. His destructive power and radioactive breath were metaphors for the uncontrollable devastation of atomic bombs. Over the years, Godzilla's symbolism expanded to include natural disasters, especially pertinent in a country prone to earthquakes and tsunamis. He became a personification of nature's wrath against humanity's environmental negligence. Films began to explore themes of ecological balance, the consequences of genetic manipulation, and the ethical dilemmas of scientific advancement. Godzilla transformed from being just the threat to sometimes being the solution, a defender against even greater dangers. This duality made Godzilla a complex character. He wasn't just a monster, he was a mirror reflecting humanity's actions and their repercussions. It's this depth that has allowed Godzilla to remain relevant across different eras and societal contexts. Godzilla's impact on pop culture. Godzilla's influence stretches far beyond the silver screen. He's appeared in countless forms of media, from comic books and animated series to video games and music. Bands have written songs about him, artists have created works inspired by him, and he's been parodied in shows like South Park and The Simpsons. In 1996, Godzilla received a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, cementing his status as a true international star. Fans around the world celebrate Godzilla Day on November 3rd, commemorating the release of the original 1954 film. The merchandising machine is massive, with toys, collectibles, clothing, and more. Fan conventions like G-Fest bring enthusiasts together to share their love for all things kaiju. Godzilla has become a cultural touchstone, a character that transcends language and borders. His stories resonate with universal themes, making him relatable to people from all walks of life. Technological evolution in Godzilla films. The magic behind bringing Godzilla to life is a fascinating journey in itself. In the beginning, the limitations of technology meant filmmakers had to get creative. Suitmation involved an actor in a heavy suit acting out scenes on miniature sets. It required meticulous attention to detail to make everything look convincing. As years passed, advancements like animatronics added more expression to Godzilla's face and movements. Then came CGI and motion capture, allowing for even more realistic and dynamic portrayals. The 2016 film Shin Godzilla used a combination of techniques, including CGI and traditional effects, to create a Godzilla that was both familiar and terrifyingly new. Sound design has always been a crucial element. The iconic roar has evolved over the years but remains instantly recognizable. Composers like Akira Ifukube crafted musical scores that added emotional depth and grandeur to the films. These technological advancements not only improved the visual spectacle, but also allowed filmmakers to explore new storytelling possibilities, keeping the franchise fresh and engaging. Behind the monster, the people who shaped Godzilla. Let's shine a spotlight on the talented individuals who brought Godzilla to life. Ishiro Honda, the director of the original film, infused it with themes that gave the story depth beyond its monster movie facade. His vision set the tone for what Godzilla could represent. Producers like Tomoyuki Tanaka were instrumental in launching and sustaining the franchise. Shogo Tomiyama played a significant role in the Heisei and Millennium series, guiding the direction of the films during those eras. Hideaki Anno, known for Neon Genesis Evangelion, directed Shin Godzilla, bringing a fresh perspective and critical acclaim to the franchise. Actors like Haruo Nakajima, who portrayed Godzilla for over 2 decades, contributed immensely through their physical performances. Their movements gave Godzilla personality and presence. Kenpachiro Satsuma and Tom Kitagawa followed in his footsteps, each bringing their own flair to the role. These individuals, along with countless crew members, special effects artists, composers, writers, crafted the legacy that we celebrate today. The future of Godzilla. So, what does the future hold for the King of Monsters? There's plenty to be excited about. New films are on the horizon, both in Hollywood and from Toho Studios in Japan. The possibilities are endless. Maybe more crossovers, new enemies, or fresh takes on his origin. Godzilla is also branching out into other media. Netflix released an anime trilogy exploring Godzilla in a futuristic setting. There's also Godzilla Singular Point, an anime series that offers yet another unique spin on the legend. Video games continue to be a popular medium, with titles ranging from action-packed battles to city-building simulations where Godzilla might just come knocking. With the rise of virtual reality, we might soon find ourselves standing toe-to-toe, or more like toe-to-ankle, with Godzilla himself. In an era where environmental concerns and discussions about humanity's impact on the planet are more relevant than ever, Godzilla remains a potent symbol. He challenges us to consider the consequences of our actions and serves as a reminder of the forces beyond our control. And there you have it, a monstrous journey through the evolution of Godzilla. From his beginnings as a metaphor for nuclear devastation to his status as a global icon, Godzilla has left an indelible mark on cinema and culture. He's not just a giant monster who smashes buildings. He's a reflection of our fears, our challenges, and sometimes our hopes. Godzilla's enduring legacy shows that even in a world filled with superheroes and sci-fi epics, there's still room for a massive reptilian powerhouse who started it all. So the next time you watch a Godzilla film, take a moment to appreciate the layers of meaning behind the spectacle. And if you're new to the franchise, there's no better time to dive in.